Hello, welcome back to Froggy Ray Creations. I'm Andy. This is Bob and the little Bobs, Bob Squad. I want today to share, I got another, I wanted to share this. This was actually for Christmas from my friend Dawn. And obviously that was a while back, but I've been going through so many videos and different things that trying to get caught up and then backtracking and, anyways, it's a whole thing. But I wanted to share, she sent me a set of, they're called White Nights watercolor. She's a big fan of watercolor and I'm a big fan of watercolor. So, anyway, she lives in Belize and we, not as often as I would like to because she lives so far, but we tend to send things back and forth to each other at different times. Like she gets kind of a different style of, or not different style, but different type of, not different type. She gets different brands of crafting supplies down there that she has sent me to test out or try or play around with. And then certain companies that I won't mention names of won't ship to her. So she sends them to me and then I send them to her. So I have a little package going. What I did was she bought these for me for, actually I think for my birthday. Yes, for my birthday. Kind of like a birthday Christmas because these are quite pricey. But what I did was I took half pans and I filled up half pans that I'm going to ship to her so she gets to play with them too. And so these are 10 milliliter tubes and I've gotten 2 half pans, so a full pan out of them. So you would basically get around 2 full pans, which a full pan is like the size of one of these. So a full pan is 5 milliliter. So anyway, yeah, so I couldn't find my little pan that I set aside and hers is already packaged up, so I didn't want to open it and use it to do the video. So I just squirted some stuff out, kind of got that going because that process does take a little while. And on this one and a little bit here, you can see that the binding agent is already started to kind of separate in some of the colors. Not all of them, you can tell. I'm not doing like a review per se of this. I'm just, kind of show you a swatch of the colors because they're very pretty, especially this one. This one is my favorite. This one is the turquoise blue out of all of them. This one I think I like the most, but I can't remember how it looks. I know I've swatched them before for myself because as soon as I get an art supply, I swatch it. It's a habit. Getting it onto camera is a new habit that I'm trying to form. But I'm pretty sure that this one is going to look very similar to the golden open acrylics that I had, the sap green, or what we call Bob solution. And you'll be happy to know, for those of you that care, I did find the other Bob solution, the bigger tube of, literally says Bob on it. Anyway, that's a whole weird topic. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up our watercolor brush pen that we use, and we're going to swatch out all the different colors. And you'll see these were accidentally squeezed out a little too much, but even this tiny little amount here can go a very long way. Watercolor is special like that. So I am gonna get to it. Okay, sorry for that. I had a little, my lunch was ready and my timer went off and I was like, oh no. So we're back. That's how I fill my bottle. This is easier to fill with a funnel than this is. And so I just keep that little water on hand. And this is like distilled water. I don't use tap water or any kind of, this is literally like, I don't know how to say that, but whatever. Okay, now we're gonna use, do that? I guess I do. We'll use this for our wiping of the brush. It does have a little bit of glue on it, so I hope I don't. Anyway, we'll figure it out along the way. All right, so back to this. We're just gonna, let's start at the cadmium yellow. So we're just gonna add a little water to it and draw it down. I tried to give enough space so that we can really see what the, like how light it can get. The gradient in it. Blech, I can't talk. Okay, this next one is yellow ochre. Goodness. They have been sitting here for a little bit, so they're a little dried, but that's fine. We're not going for, the more water you add, the thinner it gets, the like less pigmented. That's what I love about watercolors. Like, I don't like it when it looks like this. I like it when it's like see-through, when it's more transparent, because that's what I feel like true watercolor. And everybody does it like their own style, obviously, so that's just how I like it. This one was cadmium orange. This is cadmium red light, which you'll see is kind of like a mix between the, which would be cadmium red, and this one is I'm not even going to pronounce it because I know I've messed it up all the time. But it's a different red. So this would, cadmium orange, cadmium red light, and cadmium red. This would kind of be like the red orange out of it. Still a pretty color. They're just so pretty. Like, look at that. It's like, it's so nice. And it just goes into that lighter shades. You can really do like, your flowers, and that was not a flower, but you know, your petals. And get really that like gradient of color without having to use other colors for shading and things like that. And it just kind of, I don't know, you'll see how that dries. It looks really cool. All right, now we're up to violet. Let's see. Oh yeah, this one I knew was gonna be, that's already, now that's pretty much like, if you get sample watercolors from a lot of different places, sometimes they'll send samples, sometimes like Daniel Smith, you can buy the big sheets of them where they just take little blobs of these. And I tell you what, even just that little blob can go a really long way with certain colors, especially because look at that. This is now 2 pulls off of just one little wipe with it, and we're still not even seeing the actual violet yet. So like, look at that. That's insane how dark it can get, and then how light. But look at how pretty. Oh, so pretty. Excuse me. I'm having pizza for lunch. Oven pizza. Okay, this one is cobalt blue. Such a pretty blue. If you're a blue fan. This is like, this reminds me of like a really nice, like bright summery day in like Florida or something. Get like, that whole draw of it is just, yeah, it's gorgeous. This one is ultramarine blue with a lot of binder. So it's still gonna be fine. It's just gonna be a little weird at the beginning, but it's fine. Cadmium. Ultramarine blue is like a traditional blue that you see in a lot of things. Like that's a standard, I guess, not more, that's more meant standard color. Excuse me. This one is Blue Lake. And you can kind of see it kind of acts just like that. It's so dark and pigmented that it really takes a minute to get the actual like color out of it. But again, look at just the variant shades of it. It's so cool. All right, now we're on to my favorite one, the turquoise blue. Let's see. You'll see why. Look at this. Ugh, just gorgeous. I don't know why teal was so pretty to me, but it really is. And see, you can already see, like, you can get that little ghosting and swirling, and it's just really pretty. Okay. It's not Bob. It's just in watercolor. So now Bob is a solution in watercolor. It's called green. Just green. I like it. It's simple. It's like, not to, you know, be rude or mean or anything, but like if I ask my husband, you know, he's like, ah, men don't look at it. That's yellow, blue, green, you know, like, you know, when you start getting into like periwinkle and violet and lilac and lavender, he's like, purple. It's just funny. All right, this one is burnt umber. It's a nice brown. I like browns. I like the more muted colors for lots of stuff, but it's not my favorite color, but it's pretty. And in certain context, it's definitely a good choice. All right, so that is, thank you, Dawn, very much. She's one of my good friends. We've been friends for quite a while on the YouTubes. 1 second, I have to drink my coffee. My throat is really dry when I talk a lot. Okay. But Dawn is one of my really good friends. She lives in Belize, and again, this is from her. This is the White Knight. It doesn't have a specific collection that it's from, but they're pretty much like, they're just your normal everyday colors. This gives, you know, it gives you all the like pigments, the light fastness. You can see all down here is your legend on all of that stuff. If a lot of people are interested in that stuff, I myself could not care any less about that stuff, but I know certain people are interested because light fast, if you're making a piece of art, and this is, if you don't know this information, you stick around. If you do know it, then, you know, carry on, obviously. But light fast just means like when your picture, you know, it's exposed to lights, different lights, or the sunlight and things like that. It's just like, it signifies how fast or light fast, meaning it won't fade in particular light. So you want it to withstand fading over time. And Dawn does a lot of videos where she keeps a sheet and she keeps it running, and through the years, you know, go back and check it every so often and just see how much it's faded from the previous time. So it's kind of neat that she does keep track of that stuff. I myself, I use it in stuff that it's not a big deal if it fades, I guess. I've never really cared about it so much. Because they don't really see light. They're in my sketchbooks and stuff. So, or they're sent to people that, well, I don't really have any control on what they do. So anyway, they have a great, not a lot of companies have that information all over the back of their business. So, or included in it. You've got a lot of times you got to go and search it out. So they definitely are good about sharing that information. And they're very pigmented, as you can see. I think they're gorgeous. I'm so excited about them. I've wanted to try them. And we have another friend, Creative Phenomenon Art. Her name is Elissa, not Alyssa. Elissa, she's the first person I've seen sketch them. She has all kinds of different sets. But I was like, man, those are really pretty. And so now I have a set. And Dawn has a set, part of a set. So pieces or portions of a set. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite color out of here? And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.